All right, guys, we are live. I didn't expect anybody to be here. I know it's early and not everybody gets up crazy early, but we'll get started, and this will be available in the replays if you guys need it. So, my goal, well, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Jay Price. I'm the inventor of SynciTRAGE, which is a lead generation software tool that I've created to leverage existing information and technologies to allow you to find profitable OA leads to resell on Amazon. This is the website, syncatrage.com, and it's you can find Syncatrage in the Chrome store, but you if you guys are watching this video, more often than not, you've already found Syncatrage, and you're just looking for some helpful tips and tricks. So I'm going to be on live every day, twice a day this week, once at 6 and again at 11 a.m. and both of those are in Central Standard Time. And my goal here is just to both show you the tool, but also talk about deal analysis and some keeper analysis and maybe variation analysis if we get lucky. I haven't logged in at all. I haven't looked at anything. This is super cold. Uh, so we'll see what we find. All right, so let us first get started. So we're going to go over to brickseek.com, and I have mine bookmarked to the online markdown feed because that's what's important. And if you click on the extension up here, you can see I'm not logged in. I'm going to go ahead and get logged in. And I'll show you what it looks like when you are not logged in. So make sure we're still recording, and we are. So when you're not logged in, you don't see the search selection bar, you don't see the Syncatrage display table controls down here or anything. But once you do get logged in, and you get logged in, it says, hey, you've got logged in. Come over here and then refresh the page, and then the extension will detect, hey, you are an active user. And you'll see our search selection bar come up over here, and you'll see the display table controls pop up down here. And there they go. Since it is in the morning, you can see my auto schedule already started running, but I don't want to do that just yet. Stop that. That was the schedule feature, which we'll talk about more at the end, towards the end of the video. But since it is in the morning, I want to search markdowns over the past 8 hours. Typically, a lot of the markdowns occur overnight, and so I want to know what were the greatest markdowns in the past 8 hours. Now, because of the method of sourcing, some of those won't be available, but some will be. And it's not a big deal if they aren't. We can always come back and run the program again. So. So far, I've selected Markdown 8-hour search, and then I'll just make sure I'll clear this table to make sure we get all fresh data in here, and we're just going to hit start. Well, first, I'm kind of tripping over myself. All right, so I'll show you guys my settings. You see I don't have anything in my exclude words. I'm going to go to, if you click on that tutorial button down at the bottom, we have some words that we just suggest that you exclude because they often bring up not profitable inventory or inventory that is, super prone for IP complaints like Terrasol and Velcro. And I don't want to be like the IP police, but some of these are really hyper aggressive, and if they're on here, then it means that I personally have gotten IP complaints I either couldn't get retracted, or I just know them to be crazy aggressive like Velcro. But you can take these here, and then we will pop those in our exclusion filter. Our minimum price difference is set to 40%. The default is 50. This is really subjective. It depends what you are, how much time you got really. But what this is referring to is the price difference between here, between the old price and the new price that you want this to consider to analyze. So I usually set mine to 40 because I want that cast that wide net. I don't really dip below 40 because if the price difference isn't that great, the opportunity to find profitable products to resell decreases. And then my minimum sales rank, my minimum keeper drops, I'm just going to do 8. My referral fee, I'll do 15%. My minimum net profit, I'll do 4 and 30% ROI. And again, I think the default for this is 10. This is 5, and I believe this is 40. Um, if I can, and I started doing this a lot lately as things have kind of tightened up, as everybody could probably can attest to. I've started to accept a lower net profit if the prep is really easy. So like video games and DVDs, for example, all you have to do is put a sticker on that and ship it out the door. The prep time and then the inbound shipping is very minimal as well. So I've started accepting a lot more of those lower minimum profit if the velocity is still high. So that's just me personally, what I'm doing in my business. I'm not saying anybody has to do that. So anyway, you put that stuff in, and then you just click off, and then you can start your search. All right. So in this search, we have 70 pages. It's found 31 products that pass those first two filters, right? So the first two filters are the exclusion and the minimum price difference. Those are like the gates, the testing gates, I like to call them. Shout out to my Hunter x Hunter fans. But then you can do so, and then to say, okay, right now we're checking product 3 and 4, so on and so forth, and then it'll just go down this list. Now, with when you search markdowns, it's going to prioritize the greatest markdown and then go down from there. So you can see that this is an 80% price difference in between the old price and the new price, and then this is 77. And that's what's going to happen all the way until you get to your minimum price difference of 40%. Now, what's going to happen is it's not going to get to 70 pages before you get below this minimum price difference. It'll probably get to page 8 or page 9, and then it'll just say, hey, we found no more um, pages that meet your results. We've stopped scanning because when you run a markdown search, page if the 40% stops at page 9, there's not going to be any more um, markdowns that meet that criteria on page 10, 11, or 12. And so the tool is smart enough to detect that and then to stop the search and allow you to go ahead and continue on or to look at your results. So that's what we got. And while this is running, I want to show you and this will take maybe, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, possibly, depending on what we get in here. I wanted to show you some flips that I bought last week and just talk about some analysis. Um, so let's look at these Sketcher long sleeve shirts that I probably shouldn't have bought, but we'll take a look at them. I'm the type to where uh, I I like the data and I want to get a data point just to see if something sells or not. And I think I bought 3 of these. So I bought these long sleeve shirts, and you're like, Jay, why would you buy long sleeve shirts in the summertime? Well, the cost was so cheap. I got these for $10.20. You can see I bought them on Friday. And I just bought the most popular variation, which was this one. So $10.20. I'm willing to, and you can see the price is already back up, and that's the beauty of finding deals like this, is that oftentimes you take advantage of momentary price drops for huge margins. You can see the price is already back up at 28 bucks. So then it just becomes, so it's profitable right now. Then it just becomes a matter of velocity, right? And I had looked at, so this is not, there's no data available for this item back in the summertime, but I think that especially and just subjectively, right? My wife, she works out, and oftentimes she complains like when she transitions from like a cardio workout to a muscle workout that she's cold in the gym. And so I just went out on a limb and said, you know what? I bet this shirt will do well. Skechers is a well-known brand. Ladies like to work out in the summertime. And you know the AC is probably going to be cranking in the gym. I think this possibly could do well. The worst case scenario, right, is I have to hold it for September, maybe October before this thing starts selling. You can see it was selling here in November. And look at the offer count. It did fairly well. Amazon ran out of stock, everybody ran out of stock. And there's limited competition. So I'm just competing with Amazon at this point. So this is one of the ones that I had purchased. Let's check back in with our search. We're on page 2 now. And like I said, it's not even going to look at those comforters or anything like that. So let's look at some more. Let's look at these shoes while that search is running. So these are Patricia loafers. Let's see, purchased these for 45 bucks on Friday with a target of 117. So these have not gone back up in price yet. I think I bought size 8, 8.5, 7, and 11 on these ones. So I guess this is a good opportunity to look at some variation analysis. So if you aren't familiar with this tool, this is AsinZen, and to me, I've tried BuyBot Pro, I've tried RevSeller, um, I've looked at Seller Amp. To me, this is the best tool for Amazon analysis out on the market right now. Um, and yeah, it's just great. And we'll have more content about ASINs in here later. So let's just do some quick variation analysis. And what this entails is, and this is helpful for the guys, right? When you're buying shoes and bras and women's clothes, I don't know what the common sizes are. And so the point here is to try to figure out what size or color um, has like the most velocity, or more likely is driving the sales rank. Because if you didn't know, this sales rank is shared amongst all the variations on this listing, every single one. And so, yeah, the velocity in the sales rank may look great, but we don't know what's driving it. And so that's why we have to do some variation analysis. You can see that normally this shoe is priced around $80. And the right now it's just um, Amazon more than likely is price matching another retailer. Um, so let's go ahead and do our variation analysis. So we'll click on variations, and then we'll pop this window out to get a little bit more room. And this is why I think AsinZen is so powerful. You can do this summary of reviews per variations, or I'm sorry, per property, and look at the most popular size and the most popular color by reviews. And so what AsinZen is doing is they're downloading all the reviews for this listing live, and then saying 33 reviews were for size 8.5 and 62 reviews were for size black. So you can determine, okay, the most popular color and size right just off of this table right here. But then they take it a step further and they do things like the average price currently right now, 70.97 for the shoes on this listing. You can come down here, and this is one of my favorite ways. You can filter, or you can sort by the review percentage. Just click that one more time. And you can see that color camel, size 7.5, is has 3.97% of the reviews. And let's talk about why we like reviews, why we like looking at reviews in order to determine popularity or variations. So basically, again, because all the sales rank is going to be combined for all of these ASINs. But reviews are not. So reviews are specific for a certain item, which just makes sense. If I purchase a size 7.5 brown of these shoes and I leave a review, um, it may not, or I don't want, or the customer who's want to buy a size 10 doesn't want to see my review. They want to see other people who bought size 10s and get their feedback. And that's why the reviews are so powerful to determine popularity. So we can click back on here and we can see very easily. Let's pop this out. So then it just becomes a factor of, okay, well, these are the most popular reviews, but which ones in the price range that we're looking to buy at has the most popular reviews. So then we can sort, or I'm sorry, filter that table and by using the price column. And right now we know our buy cost is $45. I like to go a few dollars ahead just in case, and this happens to me a lot where, one listing, our target buy price is $45, but one listing may be 45.50 or 47 bucks. And if you still have enough room, then you can buy those for a few extra, and still get away with it. So now we filtered the table out by our price point, and then we're going to sort now by the most popular review, which I was already there. So you can see brown size 8, brown 8.5, and these are all the ones that I purchased. 8.5, I bought 11. Um, yeah, so you could see that these are all the ones that have some reviews. The rule of thumb, and this is not original to me, the rule of thumb is that for every 100 purchases, you have one review. And that I find that generally to be true. I used to sell bulk books, and I would have to typically get about 1 to 200 orders to get 1 or 2 reviews for my seller account. So I find the same thing with product reviews as well. Generally, it's just a good rule of thumb. So you could say, okay, this thing has 252 reviews. It has 3.17% of those belong to this color and size, and then make some I don't want to do the math because it is 6 o'clock in the morning, but do some calculation on, okay, how much is this selling? And then another point that I want to point out too is let's look at the Keepa data just on this. Look at this movement in offer count. And to me, this is confirmation of the review analysis. If you see this offer count going up and down, usually these are sales, usually, especially if they're in conjunction with an active sales rank. Usually these are indicative of sales, the offer count going up and down. It could be, right, that sellers are just taking the listing off the market and these are not selling. That would generate the offer count to drop. But usually, right, these are indicative of sales. And so those two data points together give me great confidence into saying, you know what? This variation is selling. And um, to me, this was helpful, especially with AsinZen, because I'm not big into shoes and clothes. Um, and I'm especially women's clothing. I don't know common sizes or anything like that. And so that was really helpful for me when doing this analysis. All right, so let's go back to our table. So we're on page 5. And okay, this happens sometimes, right? These rolling search are stalling out. And it's going to take all of it looks like we just finished it. If this ever happens, you can actually manipulate your exclusion filter. It won't work actively on this page, but you can add it in right now if you wanted to. So you have to separate it by a comma and then just paste that in there, and then it won't consider Rawlings anymore, like at all. So we're right at page 6 right now. We'll see if we find anything on page 7. That transition of me adding that may have mess with the data, but we'll see where we are. And it did. So it skipped page 6. We can always go back and start the search from page 6 and continue on from there. Who's all in here? We got John Brown in the house. What up, John? These replays will be available for on the website, and we'll also try to. I was trying to live stream on YouTube, but apparently you have to wait 24 hours. But I had to request to live stream, and then you have to wait 24 hours on YouTube, which is I thought that was weird. Another telltale sign that you can tell this isn't all going to go all the way to 80 pages is if you look at the price difference, you could see when we first started, I think number one spot was like 80%, and now we're at 60%. So you can kind of just do the math to say, all right, this will probably get to page, I don't know, 9 or maybe 10, or maybe 8, it looks like, because now we're already at 41%. So we'll see what we got. All right, let's see what's on the next page. Probably nothing, I would hazard to say. And while that's loading, we'll look at something else that I bought last weekend. Oh, here's a DVD. So let's do this. All right. So this was, which one of these? Merlin Complete Series. Was it the Blu-ray? No, it's the DVD. This one. So my buy cost on this was $15.99. And I get a lot of questions about selling DVDs. Like people are like, are you not afraid of, counterfeits and stuff like that? I only buy DVDs from profitable or unprofitable from reputable retailers like Amazon or Best Buy. Now you have to be careful because I will buy DVDs from Walmart, but Walmart allows third-party sellers. Target is they're starting to become more and more popular on Target as well, especially in the DVD category. And so just I won't buy from third-party sellers on those retailer sites. So just be careful with that or from Amazon for if I plan on selling it new. So I bought this for 15.99 on Friday. How many did I end up getting? I got one. That's all I was able to get, probably because of quantity limits. And yeah, I mean this thing is selling, really well. This at around 38, $39, all day, every day, and you just take advantage of these momentary price drops. So that works out pretty well. All right, so let's talk about the end of the search results. So SynciTRAGE will attempt to, it'll go 1 or 2 pages past that. What happened? Okay. I forgot to turn off the schedule feature because the search stopped running. Um, and then it continued into my schedule search. Let me turn search off. And then, so the last search finished. All right, so let's go through and look at our results. So if you hit view, you got to give it a chance to stop running. So hit view, and this is what we got. So it ran through about 10 pages. It took about, I don't know, 15 minutes. Am I frozen? Well, that was weird. It normally doesn't do that. I imagine it's because I'm running some screen recording software and Zoom at the same time. My computer doesn't like that. All right, so this is what we got. So it looked over 955 items. Of those 955, we don't know what's profitable and what's not, unless we use our handy dandy filter over here. So how I typically like to run it is I'll look at the meets criteria stuff first, the cream of the crop stuff first, and then I'll try to make a buying decision based off of these. So of the 955, it found 3 items. Now you're like, oh man, that's not that much. Well, the thing is, we're going to end up purchasing more than likely off the stuff that doesn't meet criteria as well. This is just the easy stuff that fell into our filter. And we can take a look from here. So if we look at this, we have a static keeper chart ranging over a year. Um, and we could see that this is an Amazon flip, and Amazon is selling this right now at $29.99, and the average overall price is 55. So this is a figure that we come up with based off of historical pricing. And let's just go and click into the keeper chart on this and do some analysis. Actually, you know what? Let's just click into Amazon and we can use AsinZen. I've been getting this a lot lately. This item not available for purchase from this account. I do have a business account. Whenever I do get it, uh, I'm finding that I can still purchase the item if I just log out of my business account and log into another non-business account. And then other sellers have been getting this as well. And I don't know why, if Amazon is starting to not give certain products to business accounts, but it's super weird. It looks like I can't sell this anyway, because it is in the luxury beauty category. Other maybe Philips Sonicare. I can sell Philips, but probably not Philips Sonicare. It looks like I can't apply either. So that stinks. But let's do our analysis. So we got our $55 that matches our overall average overall price that SynciTRAGE gave us. So this is $9, 31% ROI. And there's not a whole lot of sellers on. There's not any sellers on this. Super weird. So it doesn't look like it's really IP related. Amazon ran out of stock back here. Oh, look at that rank. It's sub 100. So this thing is moving super fast. I don't know why there's not. I wonder if there are sellers on it, but because they're not populating over here, AsinZen is not detecting them. That's weird. I got to reach out to them and ask them about that. Because there's definitely, I bet, according to Keepa, there's 17 sellers on this. But it's moving crazy fast. 50,000 units a month. It's a good time to be in the toothbrush business. All right, so let's look at this one. So if I could purchase that, uh, if I could resell that, I mean, I would. Um, and I guess this is also a good time to talk about Amazon and Amazon flips. So I also get questions like, hey, can you buy from Amazon to resell on Amazon? And 100% absolutely you can. The only thing is you can't, it is against Amazon's, you can, but it's against Amazon's terms of service to use a Prime, any Prime benefit to purchase items for resale back on their platform, actually resale in general. They don't like that. So what you have to do is you can still set up a business account. You can make that business account tax exempt. You just won't get the free 2-day shipping or 1-day shipping on those items. What you can do, what I have done a lot is, oftentimes, especially if I'm doing a huge buy, you can get 2 day shipping for $6. So if I have, 15 items in an order and the profit margin is great, I'll pay that $6 on that item and just incorporate that into my buy cost and get those items 2 or 3 days faster than I normally would have. I do that a lot actually. And that way, I'm not violating any terms of service because it's not a prime benefit. I'm paying for that shipping. Amazon's just not charging me that much for that shipping. So I will do that. All right, so this was an Amazon flip. This is a Kohl's to Amazon flip. So let's open this one up. And if you don't notice, there's a button right here. You can click open and it'll open up both the source link and the product link on this item. So this is a men's PGA Tour Solar Boonies hat. It looks like it's even cheaper than what SynciTRAGE is able to detect. And this, because of the nature of BrickSeek and SynciTRAGE, most of these are going to be uh, UPC matches. And so that's the beauty of it. Now, the downside is, especially in the grocery category, is oftentimes when listings are created on Amazon for a bundle, let's just say you are ordering these Kleenex box of tissues, right? The UPC on it is going to be the same for the bundle as well as for the single. So BrickSeek and SynciTRAGE will say, you know what, Walmart is selling these for $1.99, and then they'll use that UPC to match it to the Amazon listing that's a bundle for $12, but it's six of them. So you can see where it's not going to be a profitable match. That does happen. Let's evaluate this, right? So this is a hat. It's a really nice hat, I guess, for golfers. And now we're going to do our review analysis on this thing. So I like the average price at 27.87. The sizes available to us, or the color, is pearl blue. I wonder if it's one size fits all. And we can quickly tell that. Yep, it's just one size. So it has 4 reviews total. Bright white and peacoat and pearl blue and silver lining, it looks like, are only ones with reviews. Now let's look at offer count. Let's see if this offer count is moving, and it does look like it's moving. It was out of stock here. I like to see that. Um, let's look at the full. I guess that is a 300-day chart. And I would say, yeah, I'm gonna take a stab at this and say this is I would definitely buy this. The upside risk is huge and the downside potential is minimized. But this is 120% ROI. And if you didn't know, you can actually calculate your sales tax in here. There's a couple of ways to do it. My favorite way to do it is to put on my buy price and do the math calculation in there. So I live in Kansas and my sales tax is 7.5%. So I'll do multiply by 1.075, and that will give me my total purchase amount purchasing from Kohl's because I'm not, I have to pay tax at Kohl's. Um, so yeah, that's a good find. I definitely like that. And then oftentimes what I'm going to do is set a keep alert on this item just in case Amazon does price match, and I haven't seen them come down that far just yet. What's the break even on this? I know there's only 3 available for purchase, and they're probably gone because Chad bought them all already. But we will look at the break even. I always have a hard time finding it. Here it is. 22 dollars is break even. I'm sorry, $17 is break even for FBA, 22 for merchant fulfilled. I like this. I really like it. All right, and then these Lucky Brand shoes. Let's take a look at these. So we'll go to open. So that's 2 of the 3, or one of the 3 I would have purchased. One I would have not because I can't resell that item. This is an Amazon flip. So we got Lucky Brand leopard print boots. These are crazy ugly to me. And you can see I bought these already, this morning. Um, so we'll take a look at these. So the average price is $84. We'll do 34.96. All right, so we got $28 net profit, 82% ROI. And I think I remember when I did the analysis on these, I bought size 9 and 9.5, but I'll do it here for you guys as well. So we'll pop this out, and we just want to look at the ones that are in our price range plus a little bit extra. And you can see this is why I do a little bit more than just our target price range, because you can find more items that fall within it that are still profitable. So if we sort by review percentage, sometimes you got to give AsinZen a minute to catch up. And also it's running slow because my RAM is being hogged by all these streaming and screen recording tools on here. And so, yeah, I remember there was like 300 reviews for these. But you can look here. The average 90-day price is 115. Um, I don't think they'll sell at that price, and here's why. If you look at the Keepa graph, and this is another reason why I absolutely love Keepa. Go down here. No, was it here? Let's close it out. It'll still run if I pop that window out. I think it was size 9. Yeah, let's look at the size 9. I want to show you guys something. And it may sell at 129, but I think the sweet spot is like 85, 80, $89 at the most. All right, so here's what I want to show you. So this is the size 9 that I purchased. You can see that back here, oh my goodness, sorry. Back here, the price was, yeah, this is tripping. We might just have to look at this on Keepa's website itself. All right, cool. So back here, the price was 85, $89, and you can see the offer count is doing very well. And then we get up here to 129, and what do you notice? You immediately notice a lack of movement in the offer count. Now, you could make the argument, well, this is probably Amazon and one other seller that has a lot in stock, and they could be selling all day, every day at this price. And that's very true. But I like to, when I'm doing these kind of flips, I want to plan for the worst case scenario, but then also look at upside potential. So the worst case scenario is, you know what? This is a price rejection, and the market really likes this price at 85, but we can still make money at 85. So we price these at 85. It's still 83% ROI. That's crazy. $30 net profit. And if we can get 124, then I'll take it, of course, obviously. I might play around with this with my repricer and for a month and see if, these can I can get these sold in a month. But I have a sneaking suspicion that the 85 is a better price point. Something I noticed too is, and you guys let me know if you notice this, but you almost have a higher return rate for items that are more expensive because you have buyer's remorse. But for something that is reasonably priced, and again, I don't know. Lucky Brand, I know it's a very popular brand of clothing and shoes, but I feel like there's not as much buyer's remorse at the lower price point than it is at the higher one. Um, but that's just saying, who knows? So that is that. So that is those are the three items that meet criteria. So if we go now, let's look at the stuff that doesn't meet criteria, which is going to be the majority of the results that we looked at. So we'll go to does not meet and hit apply. And again, everything's running crazy slow. So just give it a minute. And what I'm going to do here when it loads eventually is first I'm going to sort out the negative stuff by using the net profit. And then I'm going to sort out the low ROI. And actually, you can do that all at once. And typically, what I do is because again, I want to see everything that is profitable, is I'm going to set a $3 net profit here, minimum, and a minimum ROI of 25%. I'm just going to hit apply. So then I'm going to take it down from 500 to, we'll see, I don't know, hit apply. Nothing. Nothing is there. So usually what I'll do is if there is stuff here, I'll say, okay, you know, sometimes it's the case that sales rank isn't being reported, but the item is still moving. Sometimes it just falls outside of my requirements. It could be any number of things. So let's just look at that stuff. I think let's see how many it was. I think it was 500 and something. Boy, oh boy, is this running slow. I may need to upgrade my computer. This usually doesn't run this slow, but I've never ran Zoom and this OBS software at the same time. All right, so let's do some on-page filtering, and you can do that by clicking the net profit. One more time. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So far, I've found two profitable leads out of 900 in about 20 minutes. And I would have had them purchased and all that if it wasn't for the sake of me talking. So what I'm going to do, what I usually would do is, okay, this is the highest net profit item. I'm just going to quickly just scan down here to make sure I'm not missing out on anything. This is an example of a UPC mismatch. I can almost guarantee it because we're matching the price of one can. I don't know. Let's see. Almost willing to bet it is. You can see it was a three pack on Amazon, and it's a three pack on Walmart. Hey yo, if you want $1, if you're into tuna, that might be a maybe not a profitable flip, but for sure a good deal on three cans of tuna. And if you weren't aware, we also do have a dynamic keeper chart off of Amazon. It works on Walmart, Kohl's, and Home Depot and Target right now. And eventually it'll work for all the websites that are in BrickSeek. But yeah, I thought that's pretty cool too. But yeah, if you want some tuna for $1, I might need to copy that link and send it to my wife. All right, so um, yeah, I don't think there's anything else on here. But usually I'm finding stuff that I purchase here all the time. This is crazy. I purchased this game last week for 14.99. It looks like Best Buy again, and I sold it at 30 bucks. Best Buy is dropping their price again. This was interesting because Best Buy delivered it like 2 hours after I ordered it, which I thought was cool by the Geek Squad. All right, stuff that does not meet criteria. What do I do with that? Well, let me make sure I have this. I don't know if I fixed it or not. AZ Insight has this tool called Insight 360, and it allows you to do off Amazon searches, but on Amazon or through Amazon's search mechanism. What do I mean by that? So if you highlight any text and then right click and then go to this, if you have AZ Insight installed, you can see I still have to configure my settings. I forgot to do, but it will. Let's just do it right now. Go to plugins. Insight 360 on US, save. Now let's try it. All right, cool. So they have this tool. Let's just say we weren't able to find an existing listing for this item, for this Coleman battery. Well, you can search Amazon, but not on Amazon using this tool. And then what I'm going to do is just go through the process of trying to identify this flashlight. And lo and behold, there it is right there. And this is not a great example because we were able to find it, but on the or it was already listed. But if you go to no match found, these are items that the UPC does not connect to an existing ASIN. And so instead of just disregarding these, what I will do is, especially if it's like a very well branded item that I can recognize, I'll use that tool like Cooler Bearer. I know that's a brand by UGG, comforter set. And if the price difference is enough, which I don't think that this is because it's going to be big and bulky, I'll use that tool and try to find this sheet set to do some analysis. Another thing I'll do is look for what the prices are for similar items under that brand to make the determination like, hey, do I need to invest more time into this or not? I'm not looking up these signs. Marine, what is this? It's a digital product. These weighted blankets are heavy, not profitable. Sun Zero. I've sold some of these before, but I don't want to look through a bunch of curtains and pillows and junk. Um, there's those Rawling shirts. I don't know. Let's take a look at these and see. Rawling adult baseball tee. Adult baseball tee. Interesting. So it looks like. They come in a 4-pack for $42. And the single ones, now these are sourced from Academy at $4.99. So if you can find the different colors in this, and it's a 4-pack, it's $20. There may be some room there for profitability. I'm not 100% sure because you will have to, at least I do, have to pay sales tax at Academy. But there may be some room there for profit, and you have to find obviously those other colors. But yeah, that's how I'm using or purchasing from the no product found. You see those raw. I might add Rawlings, at least for mine, to my list of do not search because it made that those search results take longer than they should have. The necklaces are usually a no-go. Sonoma Goods is usually a no-go. Let's look at some of these video games. So it looks like these are $3 video games. Why didn't this bring up anything? Xbox X. I'm not seeing a price on this, so there's no buy box. Let's see if this can even be purchased. I don't see any stores link. This may be a dead deal. Yeah, the deal expired. No wonder it was $3.99. It was probably a real good one. All right, let's take a look at this monitor. 27-inch monitor at Best Buy for $139.99, and it's sold out. And that will happen when you're running, especially the 8-hour markdown, because there's a lot of people looking sometimes at this stuff, and we're also competing with just general consumers, right? Um, so yeah, it happens sometimes. But yeah, that's how I use the um, AZ Insights tool on the not no match found. And so in order like of how frequently I'm able to purchase stuff, the meets criteria usually 3 to 4 times a day. Pretty much anytime I come and run one of these searches, I can find items to purchase. That does not meet criteria maybe once a day. I'm purchasing an item from that does not meet criteria, and the no match found is usually like once a week. I'll find a profitable item in that. But typically, I can spend about $1,000 a day using SynciTRAGE, um, and that's not all of my OA buying, but it is a good portion of it. And yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything like that. You can feel free to chime in, and if not, I will see you again at 11. You guys have any questions or anything? I don't know who's all in here now. Well, all right, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you again at 11.